Last week in the intro, we're going to focus these first couple weeks on the pedagogy behind technology use. We're going to look at a couple of models that other people have created and are widely used to evaluate technology integration. And before we do, I want to give you a little background on why these models were created. First of all, this is a TPACK model, and this model was really created in reaction to uncritical use of technology. So you would go to a conference and see sessions like 50 tools in 50 minutes, where people would just machine gun out all these different cool tools on the web. And if you would just use these things, it's going to revolutionize your classroom. And people would name all kinds of things like one-to-one devices or interactive whiteboards or iPads. Any one of these things, you're going to pick it and use it, and it's going to change learning, and it's going to revolutionize teaching. And some people saw the hyperbole in this and developed this chart to kind of bring people back to earth and get some balance in the priorities. So they wanted to balance out technology, pedagogy, and content. And you can read the article and her critique of it, and I'll be curious to see where you think the emphasis should be. But I wanted you to know that the creation of this was definitely in reaction to people focusing only on technology and ignoring everything else. The next model is called the SAMR model, and this model was kind of in reaction to a different thing. This model is more like a district decides to go and buy interactive whiteboards for every teacher in the district, or now one-to-one computers. And they started to see that buying all the technology didn't change the way teachers teached. And so they created this model to kind of show different stages that teachers might be in using technology in their classroom. And the big critique was that too many teachers were at the substitution level, where in the past they might have used an overhead projector and wrote notes down and had students copying down notebooks. Now they're using PowerPoint slides and having students type up the notes in a Google Doc. And it's not really any different teaching, they're just using more expensive tools. And so in this model, they're really encouraging people to move to the right, to get more towards modification and redefinition, and actually changing their teaching style. Some critiques of this model that I have is that sometimes it's presented as a progression. So you see the guy with no tech, he's clueless on the left, and then slowly he's developing and getting better and better, and also going deeper and deeper with the learning to redefinition. And I think that's a little bit misleading because we know we can have good lessons without technology. So there are good ways to do with and without technology, good learning, good pedagogy. So we want to look more than just at the technology. Also, one does not have to go in progression. One could jump from no tech to redefinition. And often they act like, oh, we got to baby step teachers along. And I don't think that's the case at all. You can move between all 5 of these different areas at any time during your teaching, even during the same lesson or the same day. So I think that part can be a bit misleading. And then people also like to make diagrams like this, which I have no idea what this means, and I think it's just totally ridiculous. So be critical of some of the things you see out there and give your own perspective. Your task after looking deeper into TPACK and SAMR and reading the article critiquing them is to come up with your own list of criteria for effective technology integration. So I want you to make a list of a bullet point list of how many things you would look at and how you would evaluate a piece of software or hardware or tool or app or whatever it is that you might use in your classroom, and decide whether or not it's going to be effective. So it's going to be a generalized list. After you create that list, and this week's kind of going to be a rough draft, you're going to share it in the forum, and I want you to comment on each other's lists, maybe share some likes and I wonders about each other's lists on things that could be improved. So good luck.